That's a nice one. Mara getting ready to pull right here. Ooh, look at the sign of weakness. Let me show you. You see where this is at? Mara. Mara on the break, a 962 to the downside. Does everybody see this? Actually, let me go to these wicks because it stopped every time. 961. If Mara can break below 961, do you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
Right here, right here, right here. And guess what? So this is either going to be a critical level of support and a bounce to the upside, or it's going to break right through and head back to 956, which is where we had our upper level pre-market to the upside. So everybody get ready, right? And pay attention to that. It's close right here. This could reject and go all the way back up to VWAP. Just keep an eye on it. I don't get the luxury of staring at it all day. You do. When I give you those call outs, now it's on your radar and now you're staring at it, right? Okay. Yeah, because you were in the beginning of the trade and it changes colors, you get out. If you were, if it was way up and it changes colors, you don't worry so much because you're still so much in profit. But if you are in the beginning of the trade, which this is, yes, you immediately would get out because it changed color. Yep. Let me show you this. Does everybody watch my screen? You see this? We don't have an entry on this one until one of these candles. And it's really questionable on this candle because they're not bigger than the previous candles. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
These candles are all the same size, so we don't enter on them, do we? That's a sign of weakness, right?
Right on, right on.
Yes. Until it goes bigger, bingo, and then we're in the trade somewhere in here, rock and roll. You just made more money than you ever had, and all you had to do was look down here.
Did you pick up that resistance line from not just the...
Yeah, I did. It's from previous right here. It was from yesterday's post-market. See this?
Okay.
Yep. And then, of course, so right here, you can draw one out. This is the strongest one. 88.30 is going to be the strongest resistance you're going to get all day. See it?
I see it.
So then what I do is I color code this green, like there's the promised land. If it breaks that, I'm a gazillionaire. But then I watch each one of these levels as they come up. So here's one, which, by the way, you can see it right here. Right here. See it?
Yep.
Then you got one here. So the next thing I would do is then I would draw this one out. There you go. So there's every level of resistance on your way through each one of those channels.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
So listen, who was in that AMD that you were up 60%? Do you see what I'm talking about?
I'm still in it, coach. And honestly, when I told you when I got into it when I did, I was just scalping, but it looked strong. And I just said, I'm going to stay in it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Just, now listen, this is funny. You got in on a scalp, but you know what I would do? Treat it as a 2-minute, right? Because you got lucky. You got in at the right time, right? Because this told you to buy, which would have been back here, by the way, which you would have been in. And now go ahead and run it. But I told you, watch here, stop watching here. Right?
Yep.
And then I'm telling you, it'll take all the pressure away. All of it'll go away. It'll fade. Now you're coming up on a next hard level of resistance. So here, if you had 10 contracts, shave 2, right? Or 3 or 5 or whatever you're comfortable with. You've already made all the money from here to here, right?
Yep.
And then if it decides to pull back and rip again, you're still in the game. But now you don't have so much that if it then decides to bleed all the way back down to VWAP, right, and you lose the profit.